And if you've read some of my ideas, you know this idea of this boomerang journey that human life is, going out and exploring and experiencing and seeing what life has to offer, and that youth in its most fulfilled form should be boldly going out and exploring and experiencing. But as I've said so many times, and people here have heard me say so many times, at some point, that journey out for new and more exciting experiences and more varied experiences and more entertainment and more illusion of change, that after that repetition and repetition and repetition, a person gets to be tired, be weary. And maybe hears that song, "Lay Down Your Weary Tune," and feels that weary tune in themselves. Or maybe even takes a drug, or gives birth to a child, or has an experience that takes them out of that world of weary tunes. It gives them a forevision of some other possibility of where human life could be leading. A forevision which is covered up quickly, but still imprinted in that person that there is another possibility. And then that wanting can become alive. That if I do what I've done before, even in a slightly different way than I've done it before, it's still going to be the same. I did it in California. If I do it in Tahiti, it's going to be the same. It'll be just warmer, but more human. If I do it with this person, I've done it with that person, it'll still be the same, except a little different. If I do this job, if I do this hobby, if I do this whatever it is, it will still, even though variety will be there, something will be the same. And that door to the human possibility will not open. And you know that in your gut, and everybody knows that in their gut, if they've taken all those chances, and if they have explored in life, and if they had used youth for what it's for. And that inclination, that stimulus to discover something new, to go someplace else, starts to arise in a person. And in that journey, in that boomerang journey, once that point is reached, hope starts to decrease in this outward journey, in the outward journey of what's in it for me, what's in it for me, what's in it for me, what can I get here, what can I get there, what can I get here, what can I get there. And it may be that on the return journey, there's some similar analogy to sailing. When you're going with the wind, you put up this big sail called a spinnaker, and it's beautiful and big and colorful, and the wind pushes behind you, and you feel the speed, and then you turn in another direction, and you love this big beautiful spinnaker. It really made it for you. You got to look at it, and you were running downwind, and it was beautiful, but now you're not running downwind anymore. And what are you going to do now? You're attached to your spinnaker. You're attached to the way your sails are set up. And you find yourself doing this thing called luffing. You're luffing. What a great word, you're luffing. You're a luffer. Nothing's working for you. It worked great as you went downwind, but it's not working for you now. It's failing to work for you now. What can you do? You have to re-examine. It's a different sail setting for coming home as it is going out. in the direction of going out, things are needed. Pride is important. Self-image is important. What is that expression? Self. What is it? Self-esteem is important. It's important for going out. It's important to be able to present yourself in a certain way. It's important to develop your personality so that you can impress people, so that you can get things done and go places and like that. It's important for going out. But for coming back, it's luffing. It's all luffing. For coming home. On the journey after that realization have been made that it's repetition. It's repetition, it's repetition. The hope in it is just extremely decreased in this going out, in this new things. And the possibility of coming home back to where it all began, not in your story, but in its story. Back to where it came, where that creative force was the dynamic force. Where there was an energy that kept everything going, that gave birth to you, that energized your mother to give birth to you, that used your mother to give birth to you. That finest of energy as manifested by light and sound within inside of us. That tangibility within inside of us that manifests as vibration and light and sound within us, not metaphorically, but actually. The human gift of life to experience light, sound, and vibration. Light in the darkness, sound in the silence, and that vibration. To be able to experience that within inside of us is the human gift of return, because that's where it all began. That's our maintainer, that's our creator. And we have the possibility of experiencing that reality, that one reality, from which all the other reality-ettes descend. But on the way home, attitudes are different. Sails have to be reset. Everything has to be re-examined for the journey home. If you are proceeding on the illusion that you're going to make the journey home, that you're going to meditate on some internal reality, or get to some internal reality by anything that you're doing, without reassessing the set of your sails, your mode of locomotion, your mode of thinking, your mode of feeling, what you imagine to be accurate and inaccurate, what your concepts are. If you imagine that you're going to embark even on that journey home without that examination, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because the necessary density of separateness and pride, the I becoming so big and so relevant, which is necessary for the journey out, is counterindicated for the journey home. The journey home begins really with a decrease of I and an increase of we. And an increase of we, and an increase of we, and an increase of we, so that the we even goes beyond the we of human life. And the we becomes the totality of we. But we certainly can't begin that journey into we with our insistence of I.